Where's that?
On their page. All right.
Hello, hello. Thanks for coming so early. I hope it's worth it. It'll be worth it. It's raining down like tears from the Queen of Hearts. But there ain't nothing about this morning that could pull me apart. Well, I've got a box of little memories I pull out on rainy days. The little pieces of a life that you never throw away. What we remember, like barely breathing, like summer laughter, like never leaving. What we remember, like the last chance, like a danger, like the first glance. I buried knives next to a tree outside my school when I was a kid. I couldn't give you any reason now for half the things I did. I've always been a little lonesome. It's just my way. Voices calling, but I don't know what they're trying to say. What we remember, like hardly sleeping, like a sunrise, like we were bleeding. What we remember, like sirens wailing, like we were running, like we were failing, left alone like folded cards stuffed in my pocket. The way your hair fell down so long, along the water where we created a simple truth that carries on. What we remember, like hardly sleeping, like a sunrise, like we were bleeding. What we remember, like sirens wailing, like we were running, like we were failing. What we remember, like barely breathing, like summer laughter, like never like the first glance. Hey, thank you very much. My name is Wayne Sutton. This is my good friend Bill Palmer. And we're just going to play lots of songs.
Yep. If you didn't have to go, all right. If you made your peace with your enemies, if you prayed to a dog in another country, if you gave up the ghost, Bodhisattva's toast, if you didn't have to go. In another room, down another hall, same old television, same old fresh set, with a Bible in the pew, another dusty view, if you didn't have to go. If you win the battle, but you lose the war, and you don't remember what you came here for, in a far-off land, with a gun in your hand, if you didn't have to go. If you reached your limit and they threw you out and the streets are empty, so you wonder about how you miss the country and the honeysuckle road, you didn't have to go. Didn't have to go.
Right.
Thank you very much. All right.
Well, out here it's 95 degrees in the shade. There's nothing left but ashes of the plans we made. Be the last one standing, I'm not afraid of tripping over myself, worry about the things they said. Feels just like being alone. I wish I was at home with you. You're the only thing that's All the books I've read, they just leave me cold. Same lies, same confession, same stories being told. Be the last one standing on my bottom soul. How easy we break and how easily we fold. Feels just like being alone. I wish I was at home with you. You're the only thing that's real. I can't do anything, act like a fool, or I can't sing about you. You're the only thing that's real. So easy to stumble, so easy to lose your way. So easy to forget what you're trying to say. And you know it feels just like being alone. I wish I was at home with you. You're the only thing that's real. Well, I can't do anything, act like a fool, or I can't sing about you. You're the only thing that's real. You're the only thing that's real. No, you're the only thing that's real. Thank you, thank you. How are you?
Hi.
What you will?
That's what I'm here for. I've actually played in Houston a bunch through the years. I was in a band back in the 90s called the Sharecroppers, and we did really well in Houston. And then I was in a band called 100 Year Flood, and we used to come down here, and we didn't do really well in Houston. We tried. I'm going to play y'all a song now. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico most of the time, and then Terlingua, Texas, the other part of the time. About half and half between those two places. But there's a place in New Mexico along the Rio Grande called the Bosque del Apache, and it's this it's a bird sanctuary, like a national wildlife place, and you can go there in the winter months, and all the sandhill cranes and the snow geese and stuff will come down from Canada and Alaska and the Arctic and winter there along the Rio Grande. And what it was, they had these old water ditches and water channels that the Indians did it, and then the Spaniards came along later and sort of used the same ones, but where they would divert the water from the Rio Grande out and water these fields so they could grow crops and stuff. Well, over the centuries, the birds learned that they could come there as a reliable, when the fields are like flooded out, they could land and there was plenty to eat and there was plenty of water around, and so they started using it. So later on, I'm not exactly sure when, sometime in the 1900s, they turned it into a sanctuary. So anyway, this song really has nothing to do with that, except for that it was inspired when I was there. I took my mom there a couple of years ago when we were driving along, and we were kind of talking like, well, I wonder what the people were like who worked in these fields here. And of course, it's centuries of people, so it's hard to possibly imagine what everybody was like. But these characters in this next song just came into my mind when we were there in that situation. So there you go. There's the backstory of this song. It's called Celestina. Traveling down the Spanish road with so much on his mind, he could not make the pieces fit. He had no word for it. Tight jaw churning like the wheels of a train, puffing cigarette smoke in God's name. Hat pulled down, covering his eyes from the glow of the dashboard lights. Celestina, wanna see ya. Celestina, Celestina, wanna see ya. Celestina. Celestina. Her soft eyes lay across cotton in the fields, children playing in the yard, cries for freedom, a ricochet in the night, between broken hearts and the stars. Celestina, wanna see ya. Celestina, Celestina, wanna see ya. Celestina, Celestina, Thank you very much.
Under a fluorescent glow, the edge of the shore, I found everything I ever wanted, a whole lot more. So I built you an altar. Swear all your miracles are true. And I never believed in nothing till I believed in you. And there would be a hurricane, a tornado. There would be a plane falling from the sky. There would be nothing short of disaster if I ever said goodbye. Well, I'm no perfect disciple. Well, I can't deny I've done wrong, but I will worship at your feet till all the suffering's gone. Well, I keep one eye on the weather in case the water's rising fast, and there's no need to panic. I think it'll blow on past. And there would be a hurricane, a tornado. There would be a plane falling from the sky. There would be nothing short of disaster if we ever said goodbye. Lord, they could steal my voice or hang me for piracy. Well, I'd just be sick and hollow if you weren't here with me. There would be a hurricane, a tornado. There would be a plane falling from the sky. And there would be nothing short of disaster if we ever said goodbye. Lord, there would be a hurricane, a tornado. And there would be a plane falling from the sky. There would be nothing short of disaster if we ever said goodbye. If we ever said goodbye. If we ever said goodbye. Hey, thanks. That song is called Nothing Short of Disaster. It's on an album called Walking Disaster that Bill just remixed for me. So I'm kind of putting those songs out as singles.
How old is that? When was that done?
2006.
Oh. All right.
Back in the old days.
Yeah, in the olden days. I think that was the last time I played in Houston was 2006, maybe.
I don't know. We don't know that one. I mean, I know. That's older.
I'm going to do a song now that I wrote called Stars. And this is a strange song, and the reason why it kind of made its way into my set list, it was the last song on this record that I did several years ago, and put it up, and it's on Spotify and all that. And this song was never played on the radio, and it never, I don't know why, but for some reason when I get my little royalty checks every so often, which is enough to buy about a 6-pack of Lone Star, but they do come in, and I can use a 6-pack of Lone Star. But this is the song that gets all the plays, and nowadays with Spotify and everything, a song can get tens of thousands of plays, and it'll make you just a few cents. It's pretty funny. But this is the one, and I'm like, why is this song? It must be the algorithm or something. But I've had friends or people tell me, it's like, yeah, I heard that song Stars. I'm like, how does this song all of a sudden pop up as the one song? So I'll play it for y'all now. It's called Stars. In another time, in some other place, we would map the stars just for heaven's sake. I would look at you like you want me to, over coffee dreams, making plans and things. We would never be sorry for doing what we do. This blood in my veins, it runs straight to you. It runs straight. What good is a man without stars to guide him? You would drink my water if you only could. You would touch my face if the stars were right. These things in time might come to light. We would never be sorry for doing what we do. This blood in my veins, it runs straight to you. It runs straight. Many years together, many battles fought, all the forgiveness earned, all the lessons learned. Did a map lead the way? Were the stars aligned? Here we are tonight, under endless skies. We would never be sorry for doing what we do. This blood in my veins, it runs straight to you. It runs straight to you. It runs straight to you. It runs straight. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, this next one's a little pandemic love song. I wrote for my wife when the world shut down for way back, like in the first week, and I figured we would just be a couple of weeks, and I realized we were going to be spending 24 hours a day together for however long, which it turned out pretty good. We still like each other.
It seems like you still like
I
each
think
other.
we like each other more. So
Yeah.
some things work out. You just have to count the blessings. And it was real nice just to not have to do anything for a while. What on earth am I gonna do with you? We could dance across the kitchen if you wanted to. We could just make love all night like we used to do. What on earth am I gonna do with you? And we could play chess, I could teach you again. Or we could play cards, except you never let me win. And I could read you a book that took you out of time. We could turn out the lights and plan the perfect crime. What on earth am I gonna do with you? I would pull down the moon if you wanted me to. We could kiss until the sun comes up like we used to do. What on earth am I gonna do with you? We could pull out a canvas and paint something on the porch. Take off all our clothes, lay naked on the floor. Take that dog into the woods and let that boy run free. We could wrap up in a blanket and curse the referee. What on earth am I gonna do with you? I would sing you a song if you wanted me to. We could kiss away the hours like we used to do. What on earth am I gonna do with you? We could talk about the things we've done and the places that we've been. Look into each other's eyes, see the soul that lies within. Well, I could try and make you laugh by acting like a fool. You could pretend to be a wild girl from a Baptist school. What on earth am I gonna do with you? You could dance across the kitchen if you wanted to. We could just make love all night like we used to do. What on earth am I gonna do with you? What on earth am I gonna do with you? What on earth am I gonna do?
So the other part of that story is that must have been not long after you wrote that, Wayne and I went into this old church in Terlingua, Texas, behind the ghost town, and recorded an album. And it was during all the pandemic and everything was so weird. And he's like, "Are you okay with it?" "I'm okay with it." "All right." So we got together, and it was just pretty much me and Wayne all week long, just the two of us out here in a ghost town, and we would go and record in this church in the middle of the day, and it was like the end of July, and it was in the desert, so it was hot.
A little hot.
And it was pretty much just Wayne and I in like ball caps and cut off breeches and flip flops for several days, But we'd go down to the Rio Grande, down to the border, this old crossing there, and hop in the river, get a couple Lone Stars at like 11 o'clock in the morning and go hop in the river and sip some cool Lone Stars, and then be like, okay, and hop in the truck and go to the church and record.
Pretty good time.
It was a good time. And then at night, like when we'd be done recording, be like, okay, that's enough of that. We'd go out to my place and just sit out under the stars. I was sleeping in my van, and he was sleeping in his car. We'd just sit under the stars, listen to music, like Willie Nelson and all kinds of things, and till we'd fall asleep and get up the next morning and do it again. It was a pretty cool time. A very unconventional way of making an album, to say the least. All right. I'm going to play y'all an old song of mine. It's old because I'm old, and I wrote this song when I was 21 years old, and I knew everything there was to know about love, and now I know even less than that. But this is my mama's favorite song, and no matter where I am, she's like, hey, play that song. So this is for you, Mama, if you're watching on the live stream. But and I'm like, Mama, I've written 250 songs since then. And she says, I don't care, I like that one. So I'm going to play it for y'all now. It's called Shivering. Don't do me wrong, just hold me gently, 'cause I'm too young to feel this soul. And when you come, you might knock real softly, 'cause this old door been slammed too much, and you can't hold me down when I'm shivering, 'cause my ducks ain't in a row, and this changing hands just won't meet my demand. You just can't go, you just can't go like this. My lies were white till I got them dirty. I thought I might undress, but they stained my skin. And when you come, don't mind me laughing, 'cause I'll be so glad to see you love someone again. And you can't hold me down when I'm shivering, 'cause my ducks ain't in a row, and this changing hands just won't meet my demand. You just can't go, you just can't go like this. Take it, Wayne. You can't hold me down when I'm shivering, 'cause my ducks ain't in a row, and this changing hands just won't meet my demand. You just can't go, you just can't go
Your mama's got good taste.
Yeah.
And I got to stop and pick Bill up in Smithville today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a school teacher, so I had to work a little bit this morning and teach some kids to play. What do we do? Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. That's how I spent my morning. That was pretty good way to make some money if you have to work. But I picked up Bill in Smithville at his mama's house, and I got some ham and green beans, and they were delicious. They were much better than the
Sweet
school's.
potatoes.
Yeah, school had chicken enchilada casserole, which was not delicious. But that's that's a big part of being a teacher. You get free lunch,
Yeah. Hey, man.
summer vacation, and free lunch.
It's just too bad they don't give you free beer.
Right. Well, that's kind of, you can get that from the facilities guys behind the gym, but
Yeah.
you got to be real careful about it.
You got to make sure that nobody sees that
That's
going
right.
down.
That's right. All right. So this was the first single I released from an album called The Blue Worm. The album is called The Blue Worm because I was in Big Bend with my kids, and we actually went to see Bill and his wife Stephanie play a gig at the Starlight Theater. And they had matching knives, and my kids were really impressed with that. So I asked Stephanie about the knife, and she told me she was learning some Filipino knife fighting self-defense techniques. And so she was showing me some moves, and her favorite was when she said she would cut across the bottom of the stomach and empty the guts, and that was called the Blue Worm because of the. And I was like, "Oh man, that's the name of my record."
Yeah.
I don't have any songs, and I didn't know we were going to record, 20 yards away from there. I was just like, that's the name of a record for sure.
The Blue Worm.
The
Yeah,
Blue Worm.
Wayne looked at me real serious after she explained that. She was like, because this move right here is where the guts come out, and when they come out, they're kind of blue, and they call it the Blue Worm. He was like, he looked straight at me, and he says, "That's the name of my record that we're gonna make."
Yeah, it is. Well, here's the first single off that. I like this one. Winter slide, teenage ride, and ambush hide, and stop the side, and then it all seems to catch me from behind. Bones are breaking, hips are shaking, gambler's faking, no mistake, and getting darker as I follow the blind. The ice is cracking, dogs are tracking, kinda stacking, keep attacking, and it seems like they're coming from all sides. Tears are frozen, clouds are swollen, grim devotion set in motion, and the judge says all objections are denied. And the man of many faces always leaves traces in every place he's been. And I should have started running, but I never saw it coming. Now I'm fighting my way out of here again. Well, engine stalling, old man brawling, city sprawling, children calling. It's the mothers who start to disappear. Clutch is slipping, clowns are tripping, flag is ripping, scales are tipping, and it's sold out by the auctioneer. Brides are showing, horns are blowing, secrets flowing, game on going, and nobody sitting here is gonna fold. Captain staring, boy is swearing, queens are pairing, all declaring that these walls ain't never gonna hold. And the man of many faces always leaves traces in every place he's been. I should have started running, but I never saw it coming. Now I'm fighting my way out of here again. Ghosts are crying, beggars buying, horses flying, dreams are dying, and there's laughter in the corner of the room. Bulls are crashing, whips are lashing, doors are smashing, diamonds flashing as they try to fight their way inside the womb. Open stealing, suckers kneeling, triple dealing, and no feeling, and there's laughter in the corner of the room. Windows locking, nothing shocking, everyone's stalking as they try to fight their way with the mule. And the man of many faces always leaves traces in every place he's been. And I should have started running, but I never saw it coming. Now I'm fighting my way out of here again. Thank you.
It's one of my personal favorites.
Thank you. Hi. How you feeling? Good. Welcome.
How's everybody feeling? Yeah, small but mighty in here tonight. All right. I'm feeling good myself. I've taken my dad has this saying, my dad's a pretty outgoing guy, you know, country boy from Tyler, Texas area, and that's where I'm raised, born and raised, but people say, "Hey, John, good to see you." And he says, "Better to be seen than viewed." So I've taken to that little phrase myself because it's true. I have to confess something to y'all, and I don't know if this is an appropriate place to talk about this, but I quit smoking like 10, 11 days ago, and I have no control over my voice. It's like all this breath and oxygen is amazing. It's like back when I was smoking, it's like I knew what the limits were, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't hit that note, so I'm just going to go for this one. And now I'm like, man, there's no limits. It's like, I don't know what to do with all of this.
I quit smoking too, but I have like some serious limits.
Yeah, really?
There I was like, limit.
Yeah, limit.
Limit.
Yeah. Yeah, Wayne inspired me. He kind of led me to it. Because we were together just a few weeks ago down in Terlingua, and Wayne had quit smoking, and I was feeling all guilty. So, you know, I was doing that thing, you know, where I'd go over here and I'd light a cigarette, and then he'd walk over and start talking to me, and I'd be standing there with like the cigarette back here like this, you know. Yeah. Hey, I'll be right over, okay? I'll be right there. I'm going to do a song for y'all now that I've just kind of added back into my little list of songs. I wrote back when I was, I don't know, in my 20s. I was living out in the desert, and I was kind of bored. It's like 2001 or something like that. And I would get kind of bored out there. I don't know what I was doing, trying to make a living as a musician or something. Crazy ideas I had back then. But in the desert, in like the least populated part of the United States. But it seemed cool at the time.
You're still doing that, right?
Yeah, still, yeah. I have other avenues nowadays, though. But so anyway, I was living out there, and I'd get kind of bored at night when everybody would go to bed. The kiddo would get put down and everything, and I'd just kind of be sitting there, and it was like pre-smartphone, so there's really nothing to do, and we were living in this old broken down ruin of this old mining village. And so one of the things I'd do is I could get, you know, an 18 pack of beer and sit in my van and listen to Mexican AM radio. That was one source of entertainment. But that only lasted so long, and it got sort of non-productive. And so I started writing songs, and I wrote all of these songs during that time. And I'm starting to go back and find some of them. We were just talking today about, hey, maybe we should record this one. But this was written about kind of that border region, about the Comancheros. I don't know if you guys know what those were, but they were people who would kind of do the trading between the Comanches and the white traders, because the Comanches didn't want to lay eyes on those people. So they had these in-between people called the Comancheros. A lot of times they were pretty much bandits and outlaws themselves, you know, would steal from both sides, you know. They kind of had their own code. Anyway, I wrote this song called O Comanchero. O Comanchero, flight as a feather, heavy like iron, shaped by the fire, blood on your hands. Puede var conmigo, a donde cantamos, para los muertos en este mundo difícil llevar. Oh, Comanchero, tougher than leather, but easily led, better off dead, nowhere to go. Nobody loved you, not many knew you. You burned by the sun, you learned by the gun, blood on your hands. Oh, Comanchero, your time is over. You live for the day, but there's hell to pay at the end of the road.
I like that one.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Whoa.
You know, it's not in my paper. I can't even see it.
It's like the early sounds of
I
rock
thought I
and
would
roll.
use it to help me out, but I'm too blind to see my little cheat sheets. Well, I can't walk, but I can swim. The sun is calling my name again. And the line's long outside my home. Sometimes it still feels good to be alone. Well, yes, I feel like dancing, even if it's not a thing I do. To finally have the freedom to catch my breath with you. Last night I woke up from a dream. from a man that I'd never seen. By a purple flower, your face began to glow. But I lost you as it started to snow. Yes, I feel like dancing, even if it's not a thing I do. To have the space for thinking makes me love my time with you. Hold on to me as if it was the last time. Burn every word into our hearts till the stars die out with every line. And we won't know where one ends and one begins to slide. Hold on to me like I was the last beat of your heart. Yes, I feel like dancing, even if it's not a thing I do. To have the space for thinking makes me love my time with you. Yes, I feel like dancing, even if it's not a thing I do. To finally have the freedom to catch my breath with you. Hey, thanks. That's another song from the Blue Worm that we did. That another little pandemic. I got most of the album. Like I wrote most of the songs for the record. Probably in the first couple of I don't know. I guess 6 months because I was writing a song every week, and most of the ones I kept were kind of in that little vein. I was like,
Yeah.
Bill, we got to make a record. He said, "Can you come to Big Bend?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, but I want to do it like in July."
He was like, "Are we going to have electricity?" And I said, "Well, I'll see what I can do." And we did. We had one long extension cord that came from like another building. And so we had one little thing. It was like, all right, well, we're going to have to make this work. So there were lots of, what do you call them? The extension power strips. We had power strips like plugged into power strips and like spread all over the place. And the thing is, it was hot. It was really, really hot. And so we had these little fans. I had brought, or did you bring the fans? I think I brought the fans. And we had a water bottle, a squirt water bottle. And we'd like spray each other down, squirt. And I'd be like, oh. In between takes, we'd turn these fans on, just be sitting there going, oh, God, this. But it was not that bad, As long as the Lone Star's cold, everything's all right.
And then the birds.
And there were the swallows.
And so Bill spent a lot of time trying to jump the few cords that we had, trying to chase the birds out of the church. And we'd get them out and try to shut the windows, but then it was like 150 or so in there.
Mm-hmm.
150, right?
Keeping the birds out, yeah. I mean, when we would shut the windows to keep the birds out, it would get really steaming hot in there, and so he'd like, open the.
Bill weighed like 300 pounds when we started. Now he's got to run around the shower to get wet.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, I stole that joke from his father-in-law. It's a pretty good one.
I'm going to do a song now that's not my song, though I wish it was my song, but it's a song from my old friend Adam Carroll, and this is one of my favorite songs to play because I love the story and I love the sentiment in this song. And I listened to it for many years, and then I started playing it in my set. Adam still doesn't know, so if he's watching this live stream, he knows now. And anyway, I put it in my set and I played it, and then one time I started thinking about the lyrics, and I realized that it was kind of like set in this particular time in history in East Texas, in the oil fields, and I hadn't really thought of that before, but it's called Screen Door by Adam Carroll. Looking out the screen door, through the smoke into your eyes. Looking out the screen door, through the smoke into your eyes. I'm watching through the screen door, it's worth 10,000 goodbyes. I'm cleaning up the table from the barbecue tonight. I'm cleaning up the table from the barbecue tonight. And I'm watching out the screen door where your face comes in the light. You said you loved the two-pusher 'cause he bought you a ring. You said you loved the two-pusher 'cause he bought you a ring. Well, I pledged my love 1,000 times to you, hiding behind the Coke bottle machine. Well, it's only wishful thinking, but I keep my fingers crossed. It's only wishful thinking, but I keep my fingers crossed while you take the old man's order on a checkered tablecloth. You ask me what have I got, baby, when I get back home. You ask me what have I got, baby, when I get back home. Well, I got a trash sack full of rib bones, I got a pocket full of songs, and they're all for you. You're waiting for the two-pusher, I'm turning out the lights. You're waiting for the two-pusher, I'm turning out the lights. Well, he's got Kilgore on his collar, you know what that means. He's got a lipstick stain tonight. But me, I got grease from washing dishes. You got a name tag on your chest. I got grease from washing dishes. You got a name tag on your chest. You're walking out the screen door, and the smoke is all that's left. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is an old song that a couple of people might know. The West Texas wind creeps up like a killer with the silent electricity. Sometimes screams like the ghost of that old girl who died with nothing left but her virginity. They laid her out in the corner so she could dream forever about how deeply you can fall into a kiss. They played loneliness on a violin. It came from the back room. I think it probably sang something like this. Somebody hold me. Somebody hold me. 'Cause I'm crawling. And I'm falling off St. Louis's balcony. And winter comes down, hard as betrayal and cold as a woman's revenge. Strange nights make for stranger companions. The words taste rehearsed and thin. He pushed his mama by in a wheelchair, and his wife came behind with a disgusted stare that'll probably follow him down to the stone. There's desire so raw you can read it, burning people's eyes, to feel it crying deep inside their bones. Somebody hold me. Somebody hold me. 'Cause I'm crawling. I'm falling off St. Louis's balcony. August wraps around you, swollen and violent and hotter than the first days of love. Before you realize how long things can keep going wrong after you think that you've already had enough. They leaned across the church wall on the lookout for salvation, and maybe I was standing in the way. Well, there's nothing worse than a last chance shut down in Jackson Square for $13 and some change. Somebody hold me. Somebody hold me. 'Cause I'm crawling. And I'm falling up St. Louis's balcony. Thank you. Like this.
So I tried to think, it's like, all right, well, you know, what would be the good spirit of this if I didn't keep Wayne on his toes a little bit? So I tried to introduce a song into the set that is, there are no regular chords in, and there are lots of them, and they change a lot and in weird ways. So wish Wayne luck.
I got big toes.
Yeah. This song is called Wrecker. Wrecker, wrecking my brain. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what I do. Wrecker, wrecking my brain. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what I do. Did I tangle with the wrong wolf this time? A lone wolf by design. Did I angle for my own demise in the wilderness of your eyes? Wrecker, wrecking my brain. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what I do. Wrecker, wrecking my brain. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what I do. I awoke to the sirens across the tracks, lying on my back, and the flashing lights above the wreckage of your bed. I was left for dead. Wrecker, wrecking my brain. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what I do.
And I was like, I just like to work with Bill. Yeah, I think it will be July. Again. That is correct.
That's what we're talking about.
Maybe somewhere a little cooler.
Yeah, maybe. We're thinking
Not as
about maybe
cool, but-
Colorado or New Mexico or something like that. Might be cool.
I've seen it all before, 1,000 times or more. Well, ain't no great mystery come walking through my door. Lord, it's easy wasting time if you got something on your mind. You polish anything too long, it's gonna start to lose its shine. Well, I'm not looking over my shoulder, that won't get me nothing but older. There's nothing I wanted, nothing I left behind. I left behind. Another Saturday night beneath the front porch light, talking about how we always end up on the wrong end of the fight. Lord, but that don't bother me. Well, I don't take it seriously. Lying loose and in a sleep over who you wanted me to be. Well, I'm not looking over my shoulder, that won't get me nothing but old. There's nothing I wanted, nothing I left behind. And you ain't gonna catch me crying, you can't be looking now. Sick of trying, there's nothing I needed. Guess I'm doing fine. Lord, I'm doing fine. Well, this can't be everything, this can't be all there is. Well, in the blink of an eye, you gotta say goodbye, honey. It's one fast trip. It's one fast trip. You gotta make it quick. Well, I'm not looking over my shoulder, that won't get me nothing but older. There's nothing I wanted, nothing I left behind. And you ain't gonna catch me crying, you can't be looking now. Sick of trying, there's nothing I needed. Guess I'm doing fine. Lord, I'm doing fine. Hey, thank you.
right. Well, I think is this the yeah. No, this we'll do September Leaves. So this next song I'm going to play is opening song on a record I made myself back when I had this idea BC, before COVID, and then everything hit the fan, and nobody could really get together. I was in New Mexico, which was really pretty serious business up there, and but I wanted to make this record, and so we were working on it. So I would write the song, and then I would do this drum machine beat, and I would lay down some guitar parts or something and a vocal, and then I would send it off to my buddy Bruce Phillips out in Los Angeles, and he would lay down some pianos and keyboards and things like that and send it back to me. And then I would send it down to my buddy Matthew Tobias in Albuquerque, and he would lay down drums and stuff and then send it back to me, and then I would do whatever else was needed and mix it, and we made a record that way. So nobody was ever in the same room at the same time, which is now a more common thing, and just all that stuff just kind of made it sort of acceptable to do it. And some people got really good at it. Anyway, this is the first song on that record. It's called September Leaves. Pulling back the sheets, wondering where you are tonight. Rolling down these streets, lonely as hell, but it's alright. They say a hurricane hit your town, but you got out alive. Where are you now? I'm holding on to the lifeline. You and I are September leaves in the last of the light. The fates won't give us much more time. In the gray light of a new day, I pulled you into the flood. I drew a line in the red clay, then I drew the blood. Yeah, we all went our separate ways, off into the ethers. I asked you which one will it be, and you said I'll have neither. You and I are September leaves in the last of the light. The fates won't give us much more time. September leaves in the last of the light. The fates won't give us much more time. Thank you very much. Thank you. We got one more song, I think.
So.
Yeah, we got one more
You
song.
prefer to play You'll Find Love Again or Hard Thing to Swallow?
Whichever one.
Which would you like to play?
Either. Maybe You'll Find.
Okay.
Well, I could do Hard Thing to Swallow. I just don't.
let's-
I don't have my notes on that.
Oh, let's do You'll Find Love Again.
But I prefer Hard Thing to Swallow.
You prefer it?
Maybe.
Now I can
Yeah, let's do it. I can just sing along with you.
We'll see what
We're
happens.
going to do one more.
For our last song, we're going to do something we're not sure about.
Are we doing something with the live feed here? Is it?
Oh, here we go. Came down and painted highways on his raincoat. He came down and painted faces in the mud. And slowly made his way across the moon last night, and he tried to not get lost in the flood. And it gets dark out here in Lonesome Valley, praying there's light on at home. But the words have found a way to cut a path across your lips are as heavy as your name upon a stone. And it's a hard thing to swallow, and it's a hard thing to take in. After losing everything else, you may never want me, you may never want me again. So I dream that I'm some rugged western hero, and I dream of painting murals above my bed. But the thrill I used to feel when the trains cried out at night feels like a nightmare that keeps rolling through my head. And it's a hard thing to swallow, and it's a hard thing to take in. After losing everything else, but you may never want me, you may never want me again. So I've lost myself out in the desert, and I've run naked and free in the sun, and I've sailed out on a sound that stretched out past my soul into a darkness only meant for one. And it's a hard thing to swallow, and it's a hard thing to take in. Well, after losing everything else, you may never want me, you may never want me again. And it's a hard thing to swallow, Lord, it's a hard, hard thing to take in. Well, after losing everything else, you may never want me, you may never want me again. Hey, thank you all very much for coming out and hanging out with us. We had a great time.
I'd like to say that last song, that's my personal favorite.
All right.
That's my person. I'm glad you remembered to play that one because it wasn't on the list. And he was like, "You want to play this?" And I was like, "Yeah."
The list. The list. All right. I don't know if we're going to have a little encore time, but we're going to go off air. That'll be for the people that are here with us. Maybe the people.